What is up here today, YouTube? Jigsaw0097 bringing you a video. Sorry this is late, it is very uncharacteristic of me to not make a video right after a victory. But we're in the holidays, guys. I've been hanging out with family, I've been enjoying company, enjoying good food, and now I get to enjoy the Eagles' victory over the Cowboys. It tastes so good. So yeah, just want to talk about this game real quick. Go into detail about it. The Eagles defeated the Cowboys. Both of these teams were 7-7 heading into this matchup. The Eagles are now 8-7. The Cowboys are now 7-8. The Eagles lead the NFC East and control their own destiny, and the Dallas Cowboys do not. This being said, the Cowboys still need to lose to the Redskins, or the Eagles need to beat the Giants to actually win the division. So it's not completely over yet for Dallas. The Eagles haven't clinched anything, unfortunately. If the Eagles would have just taken care of some business of their own in the beginning of the season, Falcons, the Dolphins, stuff like that, they'd be sitting pretty right now. But one thing I want to say, I've given Carson Wentz a lot of crap this year. I defended him in the beginning of the year, but I kind of jumped off of the bandwagon. And I want to say what I've seen from Carson Wentz is very impressive. I still have my doubts about him completely going forward. We're really going to see that this season. We're going to see what the remainder of this season we're going to really see. But I think the dude has done an amazing job with very little. And that was really the difference I saw in the two quarterbacks last night. I think the Dak Prescott Carson Wentz debate should be over at this point. I mean, honestly, this is one of the most polarizing games they've ever played. Carson Wentz has literally nothing. He has practice squad players. And us as Eagles fans are happy about that because we're so tired of the crap we were being given with guys like Alshon Jeffrey, guys like Nelson Aguilar. Excuse me. Jordan Howard, he's been injured for like 6 weeks now. I don't even know. To see Carson Wentz rally these young guys the way he's done that, it just proves that he is a leader. And really, it does validify what I've said. The team that won the Super Bowl is not the team that's going to follow Carson Wentz. This is the team that you need to rebuild now. And this proves it. If Carson Wentz can do this with these kinds of guys, imagine what he could do with actual first round, second round, third round talent from the draft. And this is where the Eagles as an organization need to get better after this season. Depending on whatever happens, they need to get better with bringing in young, fresh talent for Carson Wentz. It's the only way to go forward. Because when Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, you guys already know, that changed the dynamic of this team as it was. So it's time to rebuild. And, I mean, who knows? With what I'm seeing, maybe Carson Wentz does have a Super Bowl in him, and I will gladly eat my words if that does come to pass, because at the end of the day, all I want is for the Eagles to win. So, yeah. Seeing that from the Eagles side of the ball was very impressive. And then also on the opposite side with the Dallas Cowboys. Seeing Dak Prescott with all of his talent, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Randall Cobb, Ezekiel Elliott, and he can't do anything. Jason Witten, he was overthrowing guys. Amari Cooper looked like the second coming of Nelson Aguilar out there, just dropping passes left and right. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it, honestly. I was a little bit floored. I was thinking, the Eagles are really the team that's doing this. And then I see the Cowboys doing the same thing and in worse fashion. Ezekiel Elliott tapped out of the game, guys. He's a $100 million paid running back, and he tapped out of the game. The mentality of the Philadelphia Eagles versus the mentality of the Dallas Cowboys is completely different. When the Eagles' backs are against the wall, guys, they come to play. You can see that banner in the background. The underdog mentality is real in this city, and it shows. I will say that. Another thing that this has done is for the last 2 seasons I've seen Nick Foles really come in and clutch when he needs to, but one thing this game has shown is that Carson Wentz can do this too, and this really is just this is the identity of the Philadelphia Eagles under the Doug Peterson era, is that when their backs are against the wall, they will fight like hell to get out of the corner they're backed into. And they did it again yesterday, guys. They did it again. And I'm very humbled. I'm very appreciative of Carson Wentz right now and this whole team. Greg Ward, Boston Scott, Myles Sanders too. I need to talk about Myles Sanders. This guy is freaking phenomenal. I gave him so much slack in the beginning of the season, but through the adversity that the Eagles have gone through, it has allowed this guy to really step up and become a feature player. And what a joy to watch, guys. What a joy. This guy has so many positives. In many ways, he reminds me of LaShawn McCoy, which makes me really happy because I feel like the Eagles have been missing a guy like that since Chip Kelly traded him to the Bills for Kiko Alonso, we all know. Myles Sanders, you know, he's been doing so much. Like, he's probably equally as important as Carson Wentz is on this team right now when it comes to offense. And I don't know, he's done so much. MVP for probably like 5 games this season. He's just done so much. He's got a burst of speed that is just a joy to watch. You know, you can never count. That guy will catch the ball. It's something that we've criticized like Zach Ertz and Nelson Aguilar for, is the yards after catch. Myles Sanders is a yak machine. That's one of the things I love the most about him, is that he'll catch the ball and then he'll get another 5-6 yards with that burst of speed like that. You know, he'll catch it at like, it's like 3rd and 7 and he catches it at like the third yard and he ends up getting the first down. Like, that's the kind of guy he is. So massive credit to Myles Sanders. You know, probably a negative on the offense right now is Jake Elliott, special teams. I know he's missed a lot of kicks, and I'm seeing a lot of Eagles fans throw slack his way, but I mean, I'm going to give the guy a break, honestly. Jake Elliott is so clutch. Like, we don't win the Super Bowl without Jake Elliott. There's a lot of things we don't do, and with this dysfunction of a team that went on during 2019 with like all these guys, these old guys like Alshon Jeffrey, these entitled players is what it seems like. Jake Elliott was always the guy that stayed humble. You know, he deserves his money too. I will say that. He's probably in the top 3 best kickers in the entire NFL. So I'm going to give him some slack. But yeah, the offense as a whole, you know, like I said, this has been a ride. I said this in previous videos. I have no expectations of this team right now, and so this has just been a ride. I've been able to really look at the Eagles unbiasedly and unemotionally, really, because I kind of checked out like 4 weeks ago, just, you know, let's just see what happens kind of mentality, and it's really allowed me to look at Carson Wentz and look at this team objectively, and wow, I'm seeing the potential now. We really don't even know what this team is anymore, and it's really exciting to be able to think that they could be going through somewhat of a rebuild over the next couple seasons, and they could really get back on track with Carson Wentz. As long as he doesn't get injured again, which I'm always hoping. But yeah, offense they didn't do amazing. You know, this was a game that was really ugly in a lot of regards, but they really rallied together to win, to beat a Dallas Cowboys team that really didn't seem like they cared and didn't seem like they wanted to be there. But at the same time, it's a division rivalry, and it never comes easy. The defense also, I got to give Jim Schwartz massive credit. The so-called best offense in the league was held to 9 points and 0 touchdowns, guys. 0 touchdowns. Sidney Jones making the final stop. Just wow. I got to give him credit for that defense. And I've always said it, that I don't think that all the players are necessarily the problem, but it's the scheme. But over the last couple weeks, it's kind of changed my opinion on that, because I don't really know what this defense is, but all I know is that I don't think Jim Schwartz is really the problem. I think Jim Schwartz is really good. The only guy you could possibly replace him with is like Ron Rivera, but like any other person you get other than Jim Schwartz would be a step down in my opinion. And the Eagles just need to bring in more talent defensively. That's the bottom line. They just need to draft better. You know, maybe Sidney Jones will come into his own. Who the heck knows? I mean, he made one great stop. I'm not ready to praise him, but, you know, it's really all about confidence. And when you make stops like that, that builds confidence. That goes a long way. So the defense, they held them to 9 points and 0 touchdowns. They did their job. And the way that the Eagles were going, honestly, they could have put up like 40 points with the way they were playing. There was a lot of missed opportunities. So there's still a lot of warts on this Eagles offense. You know, Carson Wentz had another fumble. Seems like he has a fumble every single game now. But they were still able to overcome it. I mean, honestly, Jake Elliott, if he doesn't miss 2 field goals, they win this game very soundly. So it was a lot. There was a lot left on the field, and that's another promising thing. Again, this is a team that they're just kind of cobbled together right now. So the fact that they're able to go on these runs, I mean, they're on like 3 straight wins now. This is great, and it's all against division opponents. I know the NFC East sucks, but I always say division is a different ball game, and it's any given Sunday. So I don't know. That's kind of all I got to say. This is a much longer video, but the Dallas Cowboys are a mess. They're a mess. Jason Garrett absolutely should be fired. Jerry Jones is one of the most inept owners in football. You know, I've got a buddy that's a Cowboys fan. We had a long talk today, and, you know, he broke down and just said, you know, I'm sick of the Cowboys as well. Skip Bayless threw a literal, I just watched it like a couple minutes ago. Skip Bayless threw a literal temper tantrum like a preschooler on Undisputed today. And this is what the Cowboys have done to their fans. They have broken the morale of their fans. They have broken the morale of the team. When you have your $100 million running back tapping out of the game, and I didn't even know this, but Skip Bayless said he did it against the Chicago Bears too. That tells you where they're at compared to this team right here. This freaking Philadelphia Eagles team has fight in them, guys. The Dallas Cowboys do not. I want the Carson Wentz, Dak Prescott debate to end. It probably won't, because that's just football. But for me, it ended. I think that after what I witnessed, there is no doubt in my mind that Carson Wentz actually can be a good quarterback in this league when he is given what he needs. You know, in hindsight, if I had my decision, I probably still would have went the Nick Foles route. But, you know, I'm going to lay off Carson Wentz now. I'm going to stick behind him. When he does bad, I will still criticize him. But, I mean, I feel like he's going to be the franchise quarterback. I mean, he is the franchise quarterback. They paid him $100 million. And he played like he should have last night. He just needs to win. I don't care if it's pretty. The only stat that matters to me at the end of the day is the W. I'm not a fantasy football player. I don't give a crap about that. Yards, whatever. I just want the win. And they got it. So anyway, guys, that's the video. The Philadelphia Eagles control their own destiny after beating the Dallas Cowboys. They just got to take care of business against the New York Giants next week, which will not be an easy game. I will make my preview video for that later on. But let me know what you guys think about this win, what you guys feel about it. This team, has it impressed you? Has it disappointed you in ways? You know, it wasn't perfect. Like I said, there's still some penalties from Jason Peters that keep happening that ruin drives. You know, there's still things to work out, but given what this team has really has resorted to, what do you guys think about their chances going forward? I don't know what I think about their chances going forward either. I'm just along for the ride. That's where I stand, but I'd like to hear what you guys think. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're also a returning viewer, thank you so much for watching, and also make sure you are subscribed and you hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I make videos like this. But as always, thank you to everyone that watches and supports the channel. I appreciate you all. You guys are the best. But with that said, this has been Jigsaw097. I will talk to you all later. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Bye-bye, Dallas.